after this Atlantic swing, and the Hurricanes, they're trying to find their game here. They've had a 2-week layoff. That hurt them. And in their last 10, they've gone 5-5. So let's get your thoughts on this one before the opening tip.
Yeah, their last 10 games, as you said, 5-5. Coming down the stretch, it almost seems like they're getting a little bit tired. I'm not too sure what it was called the game, their last game with Vince, and it just seemed like, especially from the start, they got out to a slow start on that one. They were able to catch up, but that's all they had left in the tank, and by the fourth quarter, the game was essentially over. So, as you said, they'll be looking to right the ship here today. You don't want to go into the playoffs limping.
Absolutely. And we're underway. And O'Corey tries to keep it alive, and Niagara River Lions kind of do, and it will be O'Marty that comes up with the ball. Fantastic game Thursday against the Iowa Storm. In the meantime, turned over there, it goes off his foot and out of bounds.
Great hands by Clinkscales.
And a good start, 12 seconds in. The starting lineup, of course, Clinkscales, as Matt mentioned, Mason, C.J. Washington had a pretty good bounce-back game. Of course, he returned to the lineup Sunday. Billy White and Tyrone Watson, the starting five here for the Hurricanes, and O'Marty, O'Corey, Jardine. We have the outside three that doesn't go, but Washington comes up with it in a new 24. Mason there trying to tip it inside, and it will deflect off a Hurricane player, go out of bounds, and Boudreau, Williams, Jardine round out the starting five there for the River Lions.
Yeah, it was good to see Washington have a bounce-back game there last one, because his first game back from the injury, he wasn't too sharp. He only got a few minutes, but he's back in form now, as you can see, crashing the boards there. It's what you like to see.
Marty swings it over to Scoop Jardine, the former Moncton Miracle, with the clock at 6, puts it up over Mason, and hits the rim, no good, and Washington comes up with the board as we come up to 1 minute gone here in the opening quarter. Washington for three, yes sir!
T.J. Washington
Leave it off where he did on Thursday.
Town.
Had a fantastic performance, as we mentioned. 22 points, 7 rebounds in the loss, 104-101. Marty makes a nice move, but they can't hold on to it. And Matt, this team here, the Niagara River Lions, that have gone through a lot of players, 24 players, and we're going to talk a lot about the big one that happened this week, releasing the former MVP, Logan Stutz. Was released on Monday. It's a bit of a head scratcher for sure.
It is for sure, and you got to think there's more to it than what we're hearing. Hard to say. I know they added Joe Roca, a guy that was just finished playing with the Carleton Ravens, Canadian. So, yeah, it's tough to say what's going on when you're in last place. Maybe they're just trying to shake things up.
Count the basket there for Tyrone Watson, a 5-0 run here. Chance to complete the three-point play. And it bounces and rolls around and in and out. And gathered. And Jardine will have the ball. Still continuing his strong play. He's carried it over from Moncton over here to Niagara in transition with the Hurricanes, but they turn it over. Here's Kirk Williams Jr. Here's an open look, but he's going to go out of bounds. Called there by Matt Boyle. Matt Boyle along with Jeff Sterrett and Ryan Lutz, the officials here this afternoon, this evening, wherever you're watching here on YouTube. Quickly inside to Billy White, and he'll keep it alive. And we'll still stay with the Hurricanes. 18 seconds left to go. Definitely looks like a better start than what they had in here the last time they were home here on Sunday afternoon against the Titans there.
It sure does. A lot more energy. Thought Clinkscales was going to be able to catch him sleeping there. Unfortunately, Billy wasn't able to finish, but still got the ball. So.
And Keith Vassell, who is taking over from Graz locally, this will be his 13th game since taking over the reins there, has gone to the bench and brought in Josiah Moore. He only had 4 minutes in their game against the Iowa Storm. They came away with the win that night. Watson unable to get it up and over Boudreau. Here is Kirk Williams Jr., veteran here in the NBL, has had 2 stints there with the Windsor Express, puts it up, and of course he was a 6th man back when he was a member of the Mississauga Power a couple of years ago. And that was a good possession there, and it's going to result in the first foul going against the Hurricanes. It'll be Watson, his first. And Moore will go to the line.
Josiah Moore at the
Moore
line.
is not really great here at the stripe, 44% from the free-throw line. But if you say that, then he's going to hit it. Of course.
Exactly, yeah, every time.
And then when you say how great they are, they're going to miss it. That's how it usually goes when Vince and I work. Is I usually jigs some of these free throw shooters there.
Well,
They'll
there
go
you
2 for 2. That one gets the roll, makes it 5-2. That ends the
Yoji
run.
2 misses.
As we come on up to the 2.5 minute mark, Washington tonight gets a second chance, puts it in.
DJ
Something for the contact on the first attempt there,
Washington.
didn't get it, but was able to follow up with a great finish.
Nick O'Corey, of course, the former Island Storm, was traded back on the back in February, and loves
Hurricane
playing this
foul
the
on
Atlantic Division
Washington.
team so far.
His
17
first
points Thursday
team
against the
foul,
Storm in the
number
win,
2.
and back on April 17th, 20 points against the Highlanders and 22 against St. John. So he loves playing the Atlantic Division. Hoping for a big night here tonight is the guard out of Texas Tech.
And he can score for sure, former NBL All-Star.
Muldrow, one of the 2 remaining players
Sam
from last year's
Muldrow.
team, hits the 3. And just like that, the 5-0 run is now a 2-point game, 7-5, as the River Lions go on a 5-0 run themselves. Here is Clay Scales. 8:54 left to go. Watson
Great
quickly
pass.
inside. Washington hacked. He'll go to the line.
Watson is a great passer for a big man. The style of game, the rough
Niagra foul on
style
Williams.
of game that he
His
plays, he's
second
got
team
great
foul,
vision under there.
number
Had 6
2,
assists
Washington at the line,
last game.
shooting the deuce.
He's got great vision in the paint.
Armardi will return, and the Baytime Washington will shoot 2. 62 of 84 from the line, works out to be a 73% free throw shooter.
Free throws have not been their strong point these last few games.
No, that's an excellent point. In their loss against Moncton, I had a chance to watch some of that game. They missed 3 straight free throws there in the middle of the game, and the margin of loss was, of course, 104-101. So I mean,
That's
they
right.
shot like a really bad 68%, 22 of 32 in that game.
Yeah, that's essentially 10 points you're giving up there.
They'll sway it out. Amarty, Muldrow, up fake, drives. Washington, did he
Great
get there in
take.
time? Yes, he did. He'll draw the charge.
Smart basketball.
Offensive foul on Samuel Muldrow. His first team
And
foul,
that's the thing
number
is, like,
3.
they had a 2-week layoff, and then he was off with on injury, so it was kind of hard to, get back to groove. But they seem to think they've turned things around here, especially after the game against Buck. They might have came away with a loss, but they're starting to turn their game around. They're hoping.
They did come away with a loss, but it was a great that game. That game
CJ
ended great.
Washington.
Now, the thing
Right down
is,
the
they were
wire.
down at the half by definitely double figures, and then fought their way back.
That's right. And really came down to the last shot. They had 2 shots at to tie it, but unfortunately weren't able to drop it.
Antonio
Muldrow with a little
Jardine.
finger roll makes it 10-7 as we come up to the 4-minute mark here in the first. Matt Elliott and Dan Hobson here, and the Silver Vision crew gladly bringing this one to you. Big 2 points up for grabs here. And Mason goes for a little bit of a walk. He'll turn the ball over.
It's a tough call.
Jeff Starrett with the call being made there. The back official. Scoop Jardine. We'll talk about how solid he was for the Moncton Miracles. He continues that solid play here. 95 assists in just a short tender. 15 games here for
Nick O'Corey for
Can't
the
argue
River
with
Lions. Yeah, and now the game's tied at 10, so the 5-0 lead that the Hurricanes had gone by the wayside. 10-10 now.
Killed by that 3-point ball.
And that's kind of a little bit of surprise too, as Mason drives, loses a handle. Can Watson keep it alive? Throws
Smart
it off.
play.
Muldrow and does. Well, it's an excellent point that you made about the three ball. The teams are not strong at that because the Hurricanes are 9th in percentage at 32.4%, and the River Lions, who've done well for the 3 ball, are 10th, 30.6%.
Wow.
But you have to look at it. We talked about the amount of players and the amount of turnover there has been. Maybe some of those stats are not really reflective of how well the team has played here in the last few.
That's true, and so many. That's kind of one thing that happens a lot in the NBL. So there's so much turnover, especially towards the end of the season, as the teams really try to get their roster sorted out prior to playoffs. But it's tough when you're shooting at a 30% clip as a team for 3-pointers. That's one thing Halifax really hasn't had this year, is that one guy that's your gunner from deep. We've had games where Taquan Zimmerman and Antoine Mason and Mike Poole have had great games from beyond the arc, but I've yet to find that game or that one guy that's good every game, that one reliable guy to take that last shot.
And of course, you talk about last year's team. You look at where they are right now coming into tonight. They're -3 in the win category compared to last year. So there's going to be some times that 3 ball is going to, the lack of it is basically, you could win games and lose games because of it. And I think it's probably a little bit of a hinder too, as we have a official problem here.
It's like I always said about the Golden State Warriors, teams like that. You live by the 3, you die by the 3.
Yeah.
Not too sure what's going on with the officials.
7:07 left to go here in the opening frame. A 10-10 game. And
looks like he's trying to fix the clock.
Ned Boyle, he is the head crew chief here.
Clock went from 7:07 to 7:17.
Yeah, so there we go. 7:14 left to go here. Shot clock at 3. Clydesdale's got to put it up quickly. Watson, can he beat it? He does, but it rattles around and then kicks out. And here's a chance for the River Lions to take the first lead here in the opening quarter. O'Corey for 3.
That was
Long
a great
rim.
look down there by Clydesdale's. Tough miss.
Yeah. Clydesdale's left the ball. Clydesdale's expected a really good game out of him because he was not too happy with his performance Thursday night.
No, he was not.
And you can see that in the social media world. In the meantime, it's tipped off. A Niagra player will stay with the Hurricanes. 9 to shoot in the bench of the River Lions. Not too happy with that. 6:42 left. Clydesdale's gonna have to hurry here. And they just get it in time. Gets returned pass quickly in the paint there to Watson. Back out. Mason wide open. Look for 3. And that's short. And O'Corey fights along with Washington.
Steps out of bounds. That's great hustle by Washington. Caused that.
So they got a new 24 with 6:32 left to go. Definitely a better start to what they had against the Titans last Sunday afternoon.
Far and away a better.
Yeah. Clydesdale will put it up. He's not afraid to shoot the 3 and does. And it makes it 13 to 10.
Not known for scoring a lot, but the last few games he's actually been putting up a few more shots.
33% from outside the arc as that one goes there for Jardine.
Making something out of nothing.
Yep. Makes it a 1-point game. 13 to 12. Watson. There's an alley-oop to Watson. He has to bring it back down. Sends out to Washington for 3. That's a short. That's going to be a loose ball foul going against the Hurricanes. And we have a timeout on the floor, so 13-12, and I could remember that we talked about how the game last week was they came out a little bit flat. Up by 1, they'll probably be happy with the first half of this opening quarter.
Yeah, I'd say they would be. 13-12 is a low-scoring one compared to what we're used to. And notice the Niagara River Lions, they're really good, if you notice it, getting their arms and their hands into those passing lanes. They're getting a lot of tip balls and intercepted passes, and that's contributing a lot. I think Halifax would probably be a little bit further ahead if it were not for that, because they're getting some good opportunities.
So, of course, this is the third to last home regular season game, so pretty well every important. And it was really an important game Thursday night for them to come away with a win, because if they came away with a win tonight, they would probably definitely clinch a tie for Atlantic Division. But now everything is still pretty well up for grabs, depending on what St. John does tonight. It's a busy schedule, of course, in the NBL tonight there, Matt.
Yes, it is. There's another 4 games going on. Bring them up for us here. Things bumping here in the Scotiabank Center, Halifax, Nova Scotia. Pretty decent crowd on hand, and the crowds have been steadily growing so far this season. Not only that, but they're getting a lot more loud and active, I noticed, than they were at the beginning of the year. No doubt because the team is doing so well.
Well, that's the thing is that all of a sudden, like, it's the only game in town right now. The Mooseheads eliminated. Hockey's pretty well wrapped up around here, so they're the only thing that's going on. So if sports fans in the area have, this is it.
That's right.
And this is pretty well why they have set the season up right now, is so that it doesn't conflict with any playoffs for any hockey teams. So, and of course, Mooseheads eliminated. Jardine shoots the 3 at short. And rebound gathered there by Hall. And that's short there by Marty, but he'll go to the line to shoot a couple free throws there. Marty 71% from the stripe.
Halifax foul
Chance to
on
give
Watson.
the
His
River
second
Lions the lead here.
team foul number 4. Richard
And this has
Omardi,
also hurt
the
them
line
too,
attempting
Matt,
his
is
second.
as a team, the Niagara River Lions are 68% at the free throw line. That's good enough for 9th. We use that terminology.
Quite lightly.
Yeah. So, the terms of offense and free throw shooting, but you know, as we mentioned earlier, you have a team that's in transition and have changed a lot of players, have made a coaching change, and he's coached his 13th game tonight. Keith Vassell, the former Brandon Bobcat, played on this floor back in 1996 as a member of the Brandon Bobcats and won a championship, also known as CIAU back then. Now it's U Sport, of course. So just like that, it's a 3-point lead, 16-13. 5 to go in the first. Mason sends it into Watson, drives. Scales wide open, puts the 3 up again, and that's short. And a loose ball, and it's going to be gathered there and tapped out of bounds. And we'll stay with the Hurricanes. And Ty Murray, the former Moncton Miracle, will make his way onto the floor.
Mike Poole checking in for Tyrone Watson.
Mike Poole had a chance to tie that game on Thursday night, and it wasn't pretty that he put the shot up, and it just missed that rim, like right at the end. It's just a really close call there, and give them all hats off for coming back. But after the first half, it was probably not the best first half, but coaching staff not too worried too much about that. We'll talk about that later on. Here's Clay Scales, will swing it inside. Washington one-on-one, and they're going to call it for an offensive foul as he.
Will you clear him out with his elbow?
Okay, you're going to call it against Marty, so.
Niagara foul on Omardi.
Interesting.
Yeah, because it was away from the ball, so that's a little bit of bad luck on that one.
Yeah. It's a great finish by Washington. Great move underneath, too. He's got good footwork.
4:39 left to go, and Ryan Luch now with a call.
2 quick fouls.
River Lion foul on Samuel Muldrow. His second team
Take
foul
a look at
number
the
5.
veteran, the team captain Clay Scales there, getting ready to inbound. 4:39 left. And now Vassell will have to go to the bench. Here is Joe Roca. Of course, he played his first NBL game Thursday night, but he's no stranger to this building. He was just here a few weeks ago as part of the U Sport Final 8 and won another championship with the Carleton Ravens. Here's Billy White, swing it over. Poole, Clay Scales with the clock at 10. Gotta like the ball movement, quick ball movement, catch and shoot. Poole can't finish. And it's gathered there by Hall, the Wichita State 6'7" center.
Poole doesn't miss a whole lot of those shots from that distance.
Marty now with the up fake, and they'll swing it over. Corey inside. Hall one-on-one through the trees, can't finish. And Roca, a second chance opportunity, puts it in. He had 4 points in his first game Thursday night. Poole gets a little bit of room, separation, and drains the bucket on the jumper.
That's what you want to see from him. He's a great shooter when he's hot.
There it is on the replay there.
Nice little move there to get himself open, too.
Corey thought about putting it up against Mason and then thought better of it. Now he's backing in on Mason. Trying to draw some contact and just throws it towards the hoop.
Good tough D by Mason on that one. O'Corey tried to get him up off
technical
his feet.
Foul on number 2, Nick O'Corey.
Technical foul against Nick O'Corey.
Ooh, we'll take it.
His first team foul number 6. Mike Poole shoots the tee.
6 for the team fouls, and Poole will shoot the free throw here. And Bassel wants an explanation from Ryan Lutz as Poole misses that. And Poole seems to be, I'd have to say, maybe a little bit struggling with his game. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, and that's kind of what I said about him all year. He's one of those guys that's streaky. So when he's hot, and when he's not, like you said, he tends to struggle.
Yeah. So the technical doesn't result in points right now, but will result in a possession there for the Hurricanes. They'll swing it around. Here's Poole, Roca guarding him, over Roca, and it bounces in and out. And sometimes you were saying about, you know, if he's hot, those go down. That one just bounced out.
Yeah, and he had a good look. His shot looks great. You know, he's got a real smooth release.
Amarty trying to get that double-double. One of three players who got a double-double against the Iowa Storm in their win in Charlottetown Thursday night with the three. And it makes it a 21-15 basketball game with 2:56 left. And another foul coming up, and this should be the 7th team foul.
Niagra foul on Amarty.
Yes, it is.
His second.
Amarty.
Bonus in
Canadian of
effect.
Scarborough.
Mike Poole at the line, shooting the deuce.
Marty's had a good stretch
While
there,
Josiah
Matt. He's
Moore
had 5 straight
back
games
in
with double
for
figures in
Niagara.
points, so he's hoping to make it 6 here tonight. So here we are in the penalty here. Poole at the line.
As you mentioned, the other games going on tonight, aside from this one,
Danny
you get
Ocheno
the
in
Island
for the
Storm and the
Hurricanes.
Highlanders. Got the Titans are playing the St. John Riptide, and the London Lightning are against the hosting the Windsor Express. Excuse me.
Poole sinks that first one there, and that's definitely a little bit of a monkey off his back, or maybe just the hand of the monkey off his back for now. But
Get the whole one
2:55
off
left.
here.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it's a 4-point game. River Lions lead 21-17. 2:49 left to go. Roca now. Burst of speed and pins it into Hall. He puts it in on a nice drive there by Roca.
Sure was.
And the finish.
Oh, nice finish by Kenny Otieno. Oh, stand corrected. He gets called for the
Otieno
charge.
with the offensive foul.
Offensive foul on
He hasn't
Kenny
seen a lot
Ocheno,
of minutes here,
his
Matt,
first
this year
team
as
foul,
Otieno,
number
former
5.
Iowa Storm, and maybe Coach Leslie just trying to go for a hunch here.
Yeah, Otieno's been more of a role player this year. He's that guy you bring in for minutes. He plays pretty efficient basketball. He's the guy you bring in, you know, he's not going to make too many mistakes. But as you said, he doesn't get a whole lot of minutes.
Tough take for Jardine. It doesn't fall. 2:18 left. 2-possession game inside. White with the one hand. Puts it down. Makes it a 4-point game, 23-19. So take a look at it right now. Blake Scales at just the one hand with the
How many times have we seen those two hook up?
Yeah, with the left hand. White, the top scorer on this Hurricane team.
Top scorer and rebounder.
Yeah.
He's had a great stretch these last few.
Washington for 3. That's tapped out. Here's Roca with a burst of speed. 1-on-3. Try to go over Washington. That's denied, but they'll swing it back out, and they'll wait for the numbers here. 1:33 left to go. Clock at 13.
Great defense by Washington to stay with that play.
That'll swing around. Jardine now. Entry pass to Hall. 1-on-2. And Hall will go to the line to shoot some free throws there on that move.
Halifax foul.
1:23 left to go, and
His second.
Anthony Cox
Team
will
foul
come
number
in. Of
6.
course, Anthony Cox was
taps in
reactivated
for
to the
Halifax.
roster here today. And they have put Coriante DeBerry on injured reserve. Hall to the line. 83 seconds left to go. And what has hurt the River Lions is still hurting the River Lions, and missing that first free throw. I mentioned 68% from the line. And for Hall, he's 62% in the regular season and can't get both of those to sink.
So it's games like this where Halifax really has to make sure they're hitting their own free throws. Team's going to give away points like that. We can't be matching them.
And they're going to be going to the line once again.
That's it.
Gonna
Poole's
call.
been active since he got in.
Riverline
that.
foul on Joe Rocca.
Call Roca.
His first.
That's gonna be his first. So
Mike Poole
Murray
at
tried
the
to sell
line,
it that it was
shooting
him,
the
but it
deuce.
didn't go too well. So Poole to the line again.
The clock is showing 7, but that should be 8 for them.
And he'll sink that one to make it 23-20. Pretty good opening quarter here for both of these teams, and thing is, Hurricanes have a little bit of a rest. They actually could stay home here for a bit. The River Lions will pack up here and head to the island to play the Cape Breton Island, of course, to play the Highlanders. And once again, that should be a battle there. Both of those teams fighting for their playoff lives.
Yeah, and the Highlanders.
Halifax foul on
That is a
Otieno,
team that is
his
better than the
second.
record reflects.
Yeah.
Halifax has had a hard time with them a few times now this season, but
Bonus in effect.
they've got a lot of good players, and they can do damage. So it's not a team you can't look at their record and just and count them out by any means.
17th foul was against Otieno. 101 left. Murray to the line. Murray is actually their best
Tyler
free
Murray
throw
at the
shooter.
line,
It's
attempting his second.
76%, 29-38 here in the season. Former Moncton Miracle.
I believe he's Canadian too. Yes, he is. Out of Toronto, Ontario.
Jeff Stair with a call there.
A violation.
And they'll get another chance here.
Come on, we need better referees. Let's go.
And to your court side, not happy with the call.
And that one will go down, so it's a 4-point game once again. Less than a minute to go here in the opening frame. Otieno, former Alberta Golden Bear. Washington going, driving, and Hall says, no, 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 not today,
That
boy,
was a
not
big
today.
block.
Big time. Let's hopefully get a chance to look at it. Not coming, so that's
Doesn't
fine.
look like it.
We'll
Here
continue
we
on.
go.
There's Poole now. We'll swing it over to Otieno with the clock at 9. And they're going to be called for steps and a turnover, and Niagara River Lions. I think they just seen that block there just happen there.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Yeah. Aldro drives, and hitting the floor there was Otieno. And it's going to be his third. That's 3 quick ones. and
Halifax
We're not even
foul
done the
on
first quarter
Otieno,
yet.
his third.
Yeah, it's
Jardine will hit the line.
At
when
the
you're
line,
fighting for
shooting
minutes, the
two.
last thing you
Scoop.
want to do is get yourself into
Jardine.
foul trouble with the minutes that you get.
58.6, and he shows the 58.6 there with that one as he doinks the first one. 37.1 seconds left as you take a look at Muldrow, or Jardine, the former. As you mentioned, he started the season off with the Moncton
Taquan
Miracles.
Zimmerman checks in for
No
Halifax.
surprise, Taquan Zimmerman into the game now. He's going to relieve Otieno, so he gets himself into foul trouble real early.
Yeah, that trade that happened on February 16th for Jardine for future considerations. Definitely a decision that, of course, he was leading the Miracles in assists, so.
Yeah, he was one of the better players.
Yeah, so
No doubt about that.
one of those interesting moves. Of course, sometimes
Great
with different coaches, all of a sudden, they need different players.
That's right.
Hurricanes come back and get a bucket here, make it a one-possession game as we take a look at it once again. Tough
Niagara,
bucket there.
Niagara will
CJ
take the last one.
No fouls to give. But they're trying to do the right thing, but they ran out of time to do it.
Time,
The
yeah.
River Lions
That
26,
set up
your
that corner shot after
Hurricanes
some nice passes. So
23.
26-23. Hurricanes get off to a good start, leading this game 5-0, and then things started to come off the rails just slightly, but you know, still to be only down by 3 as opposed to be in double figures after the opening 12. Definitely a lot better than what it was on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, far and away their best, the best first quarter in the last few games. As you said, only down by 3, and it looks like the game they're playing looks like the game that we're used to seeing out of them. A lot of good ball movement, looking for the open shots, and working it down low to those guys that know how to finish.
As you guys take a look at home to see the inflate contest, they have to blow the ball up and then shoot a layup. Well, he gets a second chance there. Not pretty, but effective.
It never usually is.
You know, one of the funniest contests I think I've ever seen is that spin shoot contest.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that is just, that's hilarious.
You see a lot at the baseball field as well. Spin around the baseball bat, try to run the bases.
Yeah, that, like, nothing bad is going to happen from that. But quickly looking at our stats here. Of course, Washington starting things off where he left off. With 10 points there. That's a good start for him. And Amarty. So both of those players, they were hot Thursday. They continue to be hot. 7 for Amarty and 10 for Washington.
Yeah, but what sticks out to me here is if you look at the minutes played, Niagara, they don't have a guy in double digits yet. The coach has done a pretty good job of evening out the minutes, and it's paying off for them here as they have the lead. Halifax still has a few guys that have yet to take the court. BJ Wilson and Thunder and Little Thunder, excuse me, Swish and Little Swish. Getting the fans set up here for a big cheer.
Of course, we also have a lot of people watching in St. Catharines here. Of course, you know, loyal followers here of the River Lions, and we're going to have, of course, their voice. Zach Dadson is going to come in. We're going to talk to him about the way the season has and support and how things are going for them for the season, and you know, maybe talk a little bit of the basketball that's happened and some of the moves that are transpiring, and you know, basically get a better overall sense of what the what's going on with the Niagara River Lions. And I got to really say that, you know, first time we've seen them there, of course, here at the Scotiabank Center, pretty good quarter for them.
Definitely.
It's like the moves that they make are working right now, and they're going to make it really, really tough there for the Orangeville A's to clinch that fourth and final playoff spot. Aldro over, can't finish. Well defended there by Poole.
Excuse me, the Central Conference, that's a tough conference. Every team always plays the Canes well. Great finish by Washington.
Yeah, an assist there by Cox. Cox got a pretty good round of ovations here from the Hurricane faithful here at the Scotiabank Center during the warm-ups.
Well, he's a great player. Not one of those guys that's going to drop 20, 30 a night. He's a role player, but he does his job well. Great rim protector, and is a great guy that they bring off the bench.
Washington a chance to tie and can't. And the ball is gathered up here by Kirk Williams Jr. He was the high man Thursday against the Storm. 23 points and 19 rebounds.
Yeah, so far he's their leader this year.
All with the bucket. He's giving him some good minutes. He was 5 for 11, 14 points in the 104-101 win. And Taquan Zimmerman shoots the three. I have a funny feeling the stats are going to be a little bit different tonight. The teams that are hot from outside the arc are going to ring it up.
Well, it's looking like that so far. It was a great job of C.J. Washington to find the wide open Taquan Zimmerman.
Take a look at the Zimmerman three, and
there you go.
Just like that,
Kirk Williams Jr.
The Lions come back. Of course, you did see it. Oh, you're seeing the replay. Another three, 31-28. Here's Cox. Nice skills, nice ball movement. Zimmerman inside. Washington, nice piece of work to keep the ball alive. 9 to shoot. Poole now. Zimmerman over Roca for three. Can't hit it. Hall and
good fight underneath by Cox. Can come away
Cox
with it.
were fighting there. Hall with the drive, and it's going to be a block. Zimmerman questioning, and
not happy with that call.
Hurricane Mills, one of the longtime supporters here, right close to our broadcast location. Not too happy with that one.
He's a great fan of basketball.
Carl Hall,
talk
the
about
line shooting two.
Can't change it now.
61-97 this season is Hall from the line. Works out to be about 62%. That's 32-28. Yeah, man, I had a chance to talk to Chris Pagentine, the assistant coach here. And
Yep.
they're not too concerned about the fact that they were on a losing streak. They said, look, the league is competitive. You know, there's going to be times that every team is going to go through it. It must be our time to go through it. And they said, we realize we can't take a night off. And they also said that the 2 weeks layoff didn't help them either. So
Definitely, and I think the fans here, especially in Halifax fans, I mean, you get kind of spoiled when all year long your team doesn't lose 2 games in a row, then all of a sudden they lose 3. Everyone's inclined to want to hit the panic button, but you're right, 3 games really in the grand scheme of things, not a big deal, especially because they were competitive in at least a few of those games. So
Cox with the board and a new 24, but I think he also got a finger in the eye, so he'll try to wink that one off. Broca, no good, and fight there, a loose ball foul called there by Matt Boyle. Going to be called against
Hold on,
C.J.
see.
Washington.
Hurricane foul on Washington.
9:43
His
left.
second team foul number 2. Billy White taps in for the Hurricanes.
It's the second one for Washington. Decision time here for Mike Leslie. He'll send Washington to the bench.
looks like he brought Billy White in.
Murray to inbound with 9:43 left. Oh, good. Guarded by Zimmerman. Now drives into the paint. And he went out of bounds, says Jeff Sterrett, so it's going to be turned over. And it's Hurricane basketball, 9:37 left.
Roca's been active in his second game here.
Oh, a chance for Cox to finish, and Hall says no, no, no.
So
Murray
far,
tried to
he's
keep it alive, but couldn't.
Hall's been tough to deal with underneath there. Doing
Nico
a good job
Gorey
of protecting
taps
that
in.
rim.
Corey will come back in here for Roca. Did give them some solid minutes. 9:27 left to go. Five-point game, 33-28, 9:27 left to go here in the second quarter. Dan Hobbs and Matt Elliott and the Silver Vision crew gladly bringing this one to you. NBL Canada on YouTube. River Lions looking to make it 2 straight here on this Atlantic Canada swing. Pretty good position right now, but still lots to be played.
Yeah, a lot of basketball left.
And they'll swing it inside. Here's Hall now, guarded by Cox. Clock at 13, 9:20 left. Backs in on Cox.
Great
Drives.
defense, good job.
Good defense there by Cox.
Giving up a few pounds to Hall as well. Did a good job of not leaving his feet. Got his arm up straight, and that's why he didn't get called for that foul.
River Lion
Williams
foul
Jr.
on Kurt
got
Williams
called
Jr.
for the foul there.
His third team foul number 2.
That's his third. That's a biggie. And we're going to get a first chance to take a look at Matt Marshall. He
taps
played
in
his
for
university
Niagra.
ball with the Brock Badgers.
Checking in for Halifax,
spent
Joey
the season here with the
Haywood.
River Lions partner team out of Slovakia. He averaged 7.3 points a game in 26 games playing overseas. So he's going to have to get some minutes here as Williams Jr. and a little bit of foul trouble, and that's a story right now, Matt.
Yeah.
The big man here.
Joey
Haywood just came in
Haywood.
off the bench for Clinkscales. Gets a good shot up. Fans happy to see him. Former St. Mary's University star.
Oh, well, he had a pretty good February, a good first half of March, but he's kind of cooled off now and only had 4 points Monday, Thursday, so he's looking for a bounce back. Here he goes now with his usual traditional move. We've seen that at what used to be the Tower so many times.
Yeah.
Now it's called the Hamburg Center. He puts that in, so just like that, he's equal to his total of what he had Thursday. 4 points for him. 8:28 left to go in a 1-point game.
He's got such a unique style of play. He's a high energy speed guy, but he moves so odd, throws a lot of guys off. He's like you say, he's able to go coast to coast like that a lot.
Murray open 3, not even close.
Doesn't seem like anyone wants to make the call.
And it's going to be River Lions basketball. Josiah Moore will come in for Tyler Murray.
Tyler Murray.
Canadian of
Correction,
Oakville,
Josiah
Ontario.
Moore taps in.
Played his university at Tennessee Tech.
Shoots very well from the field, 38% Matt there as Jardine can't hit with that one. There's a fight between a couple 23s in the corner.
Good job
And it'll be
chasing
the
through.
White 23, Billy White, who comes up with it. Haywood Putting on the Jets. Now they'll swing it around. Poole with 7:50 left to go. Cox.
Great.
Tough take, get in. And he loves it. And you see that he loves it. 34-33, let's watch it.
There.
One-on-one against Hall, gets the shoulder, drives it in.
Great job against a guy that he's given up at least 20 pounds to by the looks of it. He was able to muscle his way underneath.
Just like that, the Hurricanes have a 1-point lead, and the thing is that Cox has really got to take advantage of being here again because he was released to make room for Washington to come back. So he's, you know, we've seen him also before when he was in that injury reserve role, play very well. Thought he might have won a spot. Didn't quite happen for him. So now it's a second chance here.
That's right.
And he knows that really that Coriante DeBerry had struggled from the field, 1 of 17. So if he could, you know, just show here what he could prove, maybe, you know, when if DeBerry ends up being reactivated, maybe they'll have to make another transaction and then another transaction. But
yeah, it's tough, especially with like you say, I think they had higher hopes, at least so far, for Coriante DeBerry. He's kind of that big man that they haven't had all year, the guy with actual size, not just height. But with a guy like Cox, he's been here all year. He's been doing the work. The fans have been happy to see him back, and like you said, it'll be good to see him earn a spot and hold down a spot on this rotation because he has earned it at this point, I think.
Yeah, well, one of the last games that I called before they went on that 2-week break, you know, he had a pretty good game, and he was making it really difficult for them. So he's once again in that mode, you know, rather than, you know, just say, well, what's it said? I'd want to be released. It's like, I got to earn my spot.
Yep.
You know, and sometimes, you know, when you have pressure on you, this is why, you know, this time of year, as well as playoff basketball, is the best because, you know, there's really no room for error.
That's right.
You know, so.
And it gets down to really kind of almost like an embarrassment of riches here for Halifax. Their bench being so deep that to release a guy like Cox, who I'm sure another team would be happy to scoop up if he spent any more than a couple days on the wire.
Yeah, you want to talk about scooping a team up. Windsor Express did that with Logan Stutz, who was the MVP last year here with these River Lions, and released on Monday, picked up there by Windsor. And it was funny, it was actually the River Lions staff of Matt Latour as well as Zach Danson that actually broke it before they were having a press conference, and that's how they ended up finding seeing Logan Stutz standing right beside a banner when they were saying that they were moving their games to,
Halifax
I think it
foul
was
on
the
Anthony
Atlas
Cox.
Tube Center there in Windsor, because the previous arena is going to be used for the Memorial Cup. That's how everybody found out Logan Stutz was you know, going to be a member of the team, and then the next day they officially announced that he was a member of the Windsor Express. So
Not too bad when a player like that falls into your lap.
well, exactly. It was sort of like, you know, maybe, you know, you could have maybe made a decision there and maybe have him like on reserve and maybe, you know, make a trade for him like after the season's over, rather than give him up and get nothing in return. There's a 3, there it goes. The Hurricanes have a 4-point lead. Taquan Zimmerman from downtown gives him 6 as we take a look at it from Haywood. Zimmerman, bang. Tapped out. Oh, there was a collision there. It almost looked like a demolition derby, but the River Lions come up with the ball with 6:52 left to go. Here's O'Corey. Hall comes up, sets the screen, gives a little bit of room. O'Corey off the window and in.
Nice take. Did a good job using that screen to get himself into a spot where he could put in that easy layup.
Oh, I like what I've seen out of Hall here. He's giving them some points. He's made some great team plays, set up some screens. That one doesn't go. That one's too strong. And speaking of Hall, there he is coming up with the ball. Jardine now end to end, can't finish. Tapped out, but O'Corey's right there. And it's going to be a new 24, 6:17 left to go. Moore puts it up. That's short. Marshall.
Oh, wow. Great job
Second
of Marshall.
chance opportunity just as soon as it's in his hand. It's out that quickly and in.
Big gap there. He walked right in, got the ball, and got the layup.
Well, you see that some of the experience played overseas helped them with that play.
Definitely.
37-37.
Kids watch that at home. That's why you box out no matter where you are.
Haywood can't get it. It's tapped out there by Billy White to Poole. We'll send it down low, and Zimmerman can't hit, so a little bit of a heat check there for the Thompson Rivers guard.
Halifax
5:38 left.
letting it fly from distance. Just get the foul on the ground.
And Hall's going to have a chance to
continuation.
complete the three-point play.
It's tough to give
Basket
him that.
counts for
But I wonder
Carl
why
Hall, who hit the line.
the other end,
shooting a
C.J.
single.
Washington probably wonder why he
Hurricane
didn't get the
foul
same
on Anthony
courtesy.
Cox, his second team foul, number 4. Richard
39-37,
Almardi.
just
Well,
like
I'm
that.
going to ask you a question. Of course, you
For
know
the
how
River
you
Lions,
have
well,
like
Antoine
the
Mason.
Cleveland Browns. That's the dog
Back
pound,
in for
you know,
Halley.
type thing.
Yeah.
What do you call Hurricane fans? Do you call them Hurricane Ranas? Do you call them Hurricanites?
I know that at least on Twitter they refer to them as the Hurricane Force.
Hurricane Force.
That's right, yeah.
Okay. Hurricane Force.
You learned something new today.
That's it. I've shut this brain off. Matt Elliott and Dan Hobson calling this one here. It's a tight one, 3-point game, 40-37, 5:24 left to go till halftime. There's Severman now, down low. Mason for three, a little bit of contact against Moore.
No call.
And some of the fans here thought there should have been one. And Jardine with the tough take, no finish. Quickly in transition and try to drop pass. Not really his best pass. And it stayed up there for a long time and decided not to go.
The lid on the rim.
Whoa! And this is one of the things you have to worry about in terms of humidity here in the building is all of a sudden feet like that, you know, just slip. And
Yep.
luckily there for Moore that he didn't roll an ankle or turn an ankle. That looked pretty
River
ugly.
Lion
Yeah, it
foul.
didn't
And
look
on
nice.
immediately they're picking up right
Jardine,
there.
his
That's the
first
thing you got to be
team foul
careful
number
about.
3.
Well, it's the second time it's happened at that end of the floor to a Niagara River line. They've gone sliding in like they were stealing second.
Yeah.
Luckily, as you said, no injuries, no rolled ankles. You would hate to see that.
Well, there was actually a college game. It was actually in Acadia a couple of years ago. They decided not to play because it was so humid inside that gym that the moisture on the floor, people were just, you know,
really?
it had risk for injury. So that's what happens. And also seeing it on my up at Dalhousie too, like players were just falling all over the place. This was a game. It was about 21 degrees outside. It was like an exhibition game, but the humidity was right around like 29 and 30.
Oh, man.
So the floor was absolutely just, you know, actually one player actually did hurt their knee and it lost them their season.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, no doubt, that hardwood floor, it's called hardwood for a reason. You hit that thing going any kind of speed, good chance you're going to get hurt.
Muldrow, yes, sir.
Samuel Muldrow.
Hits the three. It's a 6-point game, 43-37.
Sam Muldrow, former SEC Defensive Player of the Year with South Carolina. No more for his defense. Hits that three, though.
Hurricanes and a nice
Great job.
read there by Haywood. It was almost like one of those 50-50 balls. Who wanted it more? It was the Hurricanes. And Haywood now has 6. And it's a 4-point game.
And you know what? It's not often that Joe Haywood loses those 50-50 competitions for those balls.
A second chance opportunity. Here's a Marty. And he can't hit that time. Haywood turning up the Jets there, puts the brakes on. Mason now with the ball, 3:28 left to go until halftime. Makes a nice move on a Marty and kisses it off the window, but it doesn't fall. But White comes up with a
White.
loose ball. Yeah, exactly.
We'll
It's
take
like
it.
right place, right time. Not exactly how it was drawn up, but it works. It's a 2-point game, 43-41.
Tied up, yeah. Looks like Joe's going to get called there.
Foul before the shot, so
Halifax
Washington
foul
will
on
return, and
Haywood.
Ty Murray will
His
return
first
here
team
for the
foul, number 5.
River Lions.
Tyler
Washington having
Murray
a solid
checks back
game
in
so
for the
far.
River Lions. C.J.
He's
Washington
got 12 points on 5
in
and 9
for
shooting
Halley.
and 6 rebounds. That's a great first half.
Ball to be inbounded here with 3:03 left. More of the clock at 12. Going to be called for an offensive foul. Brian Lutz with the call along the end line.
Used a little bit too much
Niagara
body to get
foul
by Antoine
on
Mason there.
Josiah Moore. His
Sometimes that's what
first
you gotta
team
do.
foul, number 4.
14 foul, the first one there for Moore. 2:59 left to go.
Mason is a physical defender, to say the least.
Jaivo Clark here just walked in front of our broadcast location. We'll show you his resume here in a second here, but it's going to be after the Haywood free throws. Or actually, we'll have to wait and see. Ryan Lutz and Jeff Sterritt get together.
Not too many players have a quicker first step
Niagara
than Joey
foul
Haywood,
on
maybe
Richard
Hayden Carson,
Amarty. His
the Island
third
Storm.
team foul, number 5.
Foul was to Amarty. That's his third. So some of the
taps
big
in.
men here in a little bit of trouble here for the River Lions. You
Joey
got
Haywood
Williams
shoots the
Jr. with
deuce.
3, and Amarty now has 3 as Haywood would go to the line.
Williams Jr., their top player, leads them in points and rebounds per at 17 and 7. He would be a tough loss, not a guy you want to spend too much time on the bench.
80% free throw shooter is Haywood as he sinks the first one.
And you talk about, we were talking about earlier how you got that, Halifax is missing that go-to three-point guy. Joey Haywood's the guy, he could be that player if he got more minutes, if he got more regular run. He's got a pretty decent three-point shooting percentage so far this season, but he hasn't had a whole lot of opportunity to put a whole lot up.
16 of 37 works out to be 43%. And it's, you talk about that lack of three-point shooter when Renato Dixon is your top 3 shooter at 43.4%.
Richard Amarty.
That's right.
And he's a big man, no
He
more
is.
first defense. That means that, somebody can step up in the meantime. River Lions come back, so it's 45-43. There's a
Joey
jumper from outside, doesn't go. It's gathered there by Ty Murray. He'll cross the timeline, watched by Zimmerman inside. Amarty, bounce pass along the line, and unable to hit. Theirs was Jarmo Clark.
So he
As
got-
I mentioned, I was going to go over his resume here. He played for George Brown College. That's one of the colleges here in Canada, not
Nick
like
O'Corey.
U Sport. It's just like what the ACAA is,
Sure.
for Ontario. And he actually became the OCAA's all-time leading scorer in that conference. So it's he's a pretty good, solid basketball player, but able to hit that time. Speaking of able to hit, was Zimmerman. In the meantime, foul called against Mason.
Was it Mason or was it?
I think it's
CJ
in
Washington
Washington
with
here.
a foul for the
CJ, yeah.
Hurricanes. His third team
Well,
foul.
the funny thing is, Mason
Number
was in the
6.
same neighborhood as Matt Boyle, so it's like I shouldn't just assume anything.
Tyrone Watson
Tyron Watson
taps
back in the
in.
game. He hasn't seen a whole lot of run this second quarter.
Yeah, Clark averaged 23.4 points this season for George Brown College and 20.6 in his 5 years
Wow.
in the program. So,
Nice feather in the OCA's hat when you get a guy playing professional ball.
yeah. And a 3 there.
Nick
It's a
O'Corey.
7-point lead. Largest here for the River Lions. 1:18 left. Washington, yes!
That was Ronaldo
Ronaldo
Dixon.
Oh, Ronaldo Dixon, pardon me.
Dixon
Just speaking about his
for
prowess as a 3 and D
three.
center. Great
Well,
job.
that's the thing.
Wow.
He's just going to be solid here. Here's Mason now. Two-hand flush. Hangs around the rim. Says hello. And it's a 2-point game, 50-48.
Just like that.
There's a replay of it. He did just a great job there, just to make sure he didn't fall.
Yeah, and it was a good no call by the ref. He might have been able to make the argument that he could make the call on the fouls. The other player was kind of grabbing at his legs, but got the no call and he got the fast break.
Oh, that would have been a nice take there for Muldrow. He made a nice fake and then floated it up, but it didn't sink. So now the Hurricanes have a chance here to tie it here before they go off to the dressing room for the half as
Joey
Haywood drives 50-50.
But I tell you, that first step, it is so hard to defend. See if we can get a replay of that.
No fouls to give here. There's your replay here, Matt.
Didn't stand a chance.
Corey,
Great
hold
take.
on here to the last second here. 1-on-1 against Haywood, makes a nice move. Spins
D.
and shoot, no good. Watson gathers up the weak side rebound.
At the end of 2.
And what a
Halifax
finish there.
and Niagara
Sometimes you
tied,
gotta,
50
strong
points
teams
apiece.
in championships have strong finishes. Hurricanes at one time were down by 7. 7-0 run to end that quarter, and they have now tied things at 50. So let's get your thoughts here. The opening 24. This has been an amazing one.
It's been a great day. Yeah, this has been a great first half. certainly better than the last few games. But the story of this half for me, actually, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I know talking about him for the last few minutes is Joey Haywood. He came in off the bench here in the second quarter, and he has scored. See what he's at now, but he's put in some great minutes so far for them. He has got 8 quick points just like that. He's dropped a couple threes. He's played some solid defense. So he's getting good minutes out of Joey Haywood for this one.
Okay, so at the
10 points.
At the half here, it is the Niagara River Lions 50, the Halifax Hurricanes 50. And coming up, we're going to talk with Zach Denson. He is one of the voices of the Niagara River Lions. Talk to them about the organization, how things are going up there in St. Catharines, and talk a little bit of b-ball with them. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with Zach and I right after this. You're watching YouTube's NBL Canada. trips. Not talking about the contest where you give somebody put money in a bucket and try to win. I'm actually talking about the score. The River Lions and Hurricanes tied at 50. So as we mentioned when we closed out the first half, we talked about how you finish strong, and that championship teams or teams that are in contention for that do that. That's exactly the Hurricanes. Because I remember seeing it 50-43, and then boom, just like that, we're now tied here. So we should be dandy of a third quarter. So what were your overall thoughts there?
All right, Halifax, it's time for the second half, all tied up 50-50. And before we kick her off, I just want to do a big Hurricanes welcome to Lily and Rowan Campbell and my main man, Evan Peterson, with us in the house tonight. Let's give it up for your Hurricanes.
They're doing a lot of things the same. Neither team shooting that great free throw-wise. 8 points off turnovers for the Canes to 7 for the Niagara River Lions. Both have 8 second chance points, 24 points in the paint to 20. The only big difference really is Halifax, as usual. They got 27 points off the bench, 10 quick points from Joey Haywood in 9 minutes, whereas the River Lions have 17. So the teams, like I said, really kind of similarly matched, putting up the same numbers, and that's obviously reflected in the score.
Yeah, well, talking to both coaching staff, they must be pretty happy here because they were really trying to have, this is really all important 2 points here. Of course, Vassal was thinking that their best game that they had, since he took over was Thursday night, and they're continuing that strong play here now. And I'll tell you, with a little bit of help, they may get into that 4th spot, but they've got a lot of work to cut out for them. Washington, not exactly how he drew it up, but it worked.
Take it.
52-50. Sorry, Matt.
No, I was going to say, as you were saying, it's going to be a kind of a tough road to hoe for them to get into the playoffs, but not impossible. And a team that, if they do get into the playoffs, could potentially do a lot of damage.
Oh, unable to get it there with the left hand was Washington. He won the foot race, just couldn't get it to go down.
And those are the points that you have to put in.
Nikokori might have got away with a little bit of push. Oh, hands it in, and nice execution there. And then the finish there by Muldrow.
It was a great cut by Muldrow. Good use of the court.
52-52. And for Muldrow, that will give him 8. Quick scales with the ball. We'll swing it over to Mason. Here's White. Shot clock at 6. Watson catch and shoot it. A little bit too strong there as he bounced it in and out. Here's Jardine. Pretty good first half as well. The up fake there by Muldrow. Up and over Washington. Ooh. And he'll go to the line for 2 free throws, and that's going to be against Washington.
Moving his feet.
Halifax foul on C.J. Washington.
That's going to hurt.
His
that's
4th.
Going to be his
team foul number 1.
Yeah, so now Coach
so
Leslie out of Amherst, Nova Scotia has a decision to make.
Yes, he does. Your leading scorer, 4 fouls, a lot of basketball left. Like I said before, with the depth that Halifax has, I'd be tempted to bring him out and bring him back in later on in the game. You've got guys that can fill in quite well for CJ.
Muldrow's first 3 throws of the night. He'll get 1 to go. And it's 53-52, 10:25 left to go here in the third. Just in the early stages, Matt Elliott and Dan Hobson along for the call. Ooh. Mason had a little bit of room. White, oh, and nice defense there by Amarty. He came just at the 11th hour to knock it away. Billy White was thinking, oh, I could have ran across the store, bought some chocolate bars and some pop and come back and lay that in. And it was like, Amarty says, I don't think so. He swatted away just in the nick of time.
He sure did.
You're talking about the 11th hour. Try about 11:59:59.
Yep. Any later, and that's 2 points either by way of layup or by way of goaltend.
Ryan Lutz and Matt Boyle getting together there to talk. It's a little bit out of the screen that you see right now. So you see Jeff Stair getting ready to hand the ball in, and it's going to change the shot clock to 7. So it's going to be 7 to shoot with 10:07 left.
Argument that the ball did not touch the rim.
So they made the adjustment now. Oh, that was too easy, but Mason can't
Great
finish,
board.
but Watson there with the weak side rebound and a new 24. Blake Scales in the paint, over, and trying to get a roll, can't. And quickly back to the River Lions. Here's
Looks like-
O'Corey, will swing it over.
It looked like Muldrow got just a bit of that layup by Clinkscales, just enough to throw it out.
Muldrow for 3, not able to hit, and Kirk Williams Jr. tapped it, but he put it right into the hands of Billy White. 53 to 52. Kelly up to 2.5 gone here in the third. Here is White. Move to Mason up top. They'll bring it inside the paint. Ryan Lutz with the call.
Niagara foul.
Let's go
on
to get Scoop Jardine. And for Jardine,
His second team
His
foul,
second.
number 1. Tyler Murray taps in.
not too
for
happy as he goes
Niagara.
by our broadcast location. Ty Murray will take his spot. There's Cox now. Watson drives, contact,
Good use of the
free
body.
throws.
Watson has been a bright spot through these past 3 losses, playing his heart
River
out.
Lion foul on Nick O'Corey.
In my
His
opinion,
second
he's
team
making
foul
a
number
good
2.
case for team MVP, if not
Tyrone
Canadian
Watson
player of the
at the line,
year. His
shooting
style
2.
of basketball, grinding. He does all that dirty work, able to get the points. He got 16, 15 points a game. He's a guy that can pass. He can get you 5, 6 points a game. He's going to get you 6 to 8 rebounds. Just a good, solid all-around player.
Watson sinks a free throw here, so it's 54 to 53. 9:22 left to go here in the third. And should be in for a dandy of a finish, Matt.
Yes, we should.
There's an outside 3 by O'Corey. Boy, that's
Nick
just
O'Corey
a movie
for
that we
3.
have seen when he was a member of the Island Storm. We didn't really like it then. Just kidding, of course. No, it was a nice, solid play there by O'Corey.
And
Speaking of solid play, there's Mason there.
Mason.
But no, just O'Corey is a solid player, can pretty well hit and make difficult shots. A veteran that,
Hurricane
just,
foul.
the thing is,
on
if
Mason.
you can shoot, you're going to find
His first
employment
team
here in
foul,
this
number
NBL.
3.
Yes, you will. Guy that played, as I mentioned earlier, is a former NBL All-Star. Right, that doesn't happen by accident.
Well, for Hurricane fans, they didn't really like seeing what he could do because he could really torch them.
Sure good.
Oh,
Great
he
block.
tried to go
Really
that
White
time. Was looking for a
says
call.
nay,
None
nay.
forthcoming. Numbers the other way. 3-on-2. Cox. A little bit of buttery hands, but Mason can't finish. 3-on-2 and
Great
unable to
defense.
get the bucket that time. 3.5 gone in the third. Scoop Jardine. Gets Clegg Scales.
Scoop
Spins
Jardine.
and over to Clegg Scales and in. 60 to 56.
It was a real nice finish by Jardine. Showed great touch in the paint. They did a good job of clearing that paint out for him. Put him up.
Corey with solid D, but unable to go the other way with it. Mason, no. The struggles continue for him, and
That-
Scoop Jardine is
Looks like that's going to be Halifax ball, I think. No one
Yeah.
could seem to get a handle on that one.
they have a little bit of a laugh there as this turned more into like a volleyball match than it did basketball there, so it's went off the hands and out, so it's going to be Hurricanes ball. 7:56 left in a 4-point game. Watson, bounce pass, White. He steps on the in line and turns it over.
It's a good look by Watson. White just couldn't quite get a handle on, as you said, stepped out of bounds there. It's a nice backcourt cut.
Jardine, he loves playing against the Hurricanes. In his time when he was with the Moncton Miracles, he averaged, this is average, 21 points per game in the 3 games he had when he was with the Miracle. Cox tries to finish. That's hard contact, and
Sure
free
is.
throws coming up.
Muldrow letting him know nothing's going to come easy.
River Lion foul.
The fight
on
here is
Samuel
just fantastic.
Muldrow, his third.
Cox
Team foul
first
number
trip to the
3.
line. He's a 62% free throw shooter, 41 out of 66. Trying to make the most here of a situation that's probably not really the most comfortable, not knowing how long you're going to be with a team and pretty well looking over your shoulder every seconds, wondering if, you know, DeBerry's going to be coming back soon and everything like that. It's not an easy situation to be in. And the thing is, we look at it as sports fans. I mean, you have to look at it for them. It's their livelihood.
It's a lifestyle, you're right.
It's a lifestyle. So it's like cannot be easy, but, you know, thing is, he's always got a smile on his face, the attitude, his demeanor, just, you know, you can't kind of root for him. I mean, you can't really, you know, root for anybody because you got to be objective in this business, but, you know, there's just kind of really hope for the best in a situation there for him. It's a tough one that he's in, but he's handled it fantastic.
He has, yeah, and as you mentioned, they got a big round of applause. He's kind of a fan favorite here, but a guy that doesn't put up huge numbers for that very reason. Like you said, he's always smiling. He's great with the fans. He gets out into the community. So that's why you heard that kind of big cheer for him at the beginning of the game. Wow.
That went off the foot of the River Lion player, so sometimes you got to be good to be lucky, lucky to be good. So see if they can take advantage here of this possession.
See now.
Watson fakes, clock at 13. Sends it over to wing to Clinkscales, a shot clock at 8. Good def here. Mason, and once again, the struggles continue there from the field for him.
He has been off today.
2 of 12
Scoop
from the
Jardine.
field. Make it 2 of 13. In the meantime, Scoop Jardine.
Oh.
There's a turnover now, so it's a 2-possession game. Marty, no, too strong.
Good job of Clinkscales there to keep that one from going right back to the River Lions.
There's White now, tough take.
Nice footwork to get himself even under the rim.
Yeah, 4 points and 2 of 13 from the field there for
River Lion foul on Muldrow.
Mason. It's having a
His 4th. Team foul
tough
number
stretch
4.
here. As you
Billy
say,
White at the
sometimes, you
line,
know, you
shooting 2.
get into one of those phases
As Carl
where
Hall
maybe
taps in.
the game's going a lot quicker and maybe he's doing something different, rushing his shot a little bit, you know. You also got to fake the fatigue because all of a sudden you get, like, this is a long season. They start playing in December and you get to this stage and you got to wonder, even though he has played a good majority of time, you got to wonder if there's, you know, gas left in the tank. But I mean,
Well, for sure. And 35 games, you know, we're 35 games into the season now, so that has to wear on you a little bit. There would be fatigue for sure.
White at the line, and it's his first time
Zimmerman
here tonight.
taps
And
in
he's
for the
a
Hurricanes.
76% free throw shooter coming into the game. And it's 62 to 58.
One of the better free throw shooters the
Right.
Canes have.
Already crosses the timeline, pocket picked by Clinkscales. Off to the races. No, can't get it to go.
Tough finish with the big man.
Euro step there by Williams. Loses the ball, now they'll throw it up, but right into the hands of Omarty. He was hanging around that timeline and came up with the rock there for the River Lions. Inside, Williams, tough take, beautiful pass. I'm not even sure how they got it in. It was like thread the eye of the
Kirk
needle.
Williams Jr.
Made it happen. It was a great finish, too.
64 to 58.
Nice body control underneath.
Clinkscales now watched by O'Corey. Zimmerman for 3, yes!
Very smooth.
Zimmerman gives him 9 points, 3 of 6 from downtown.
And I have no stat to back this up, but it seems to me like he's a better shooter when he's a catch and shoot than he is off the dribble. But again, that's I have no stat to prove that.
I believe you.
Could be dead wrong.
I believe you. Corey says he had my arm, but they're calling it a jump ball. So timeout on the floor. 5 minutes and 37 seconds left to go here in the third quarter. It is the Niagara River Lions 64, the Halifax Hurricanes 61. So we're going to allow Matt to do some of his social media stuff here. So we'll take your time. I got this one here for you, buddy.
Okay.
Okay, so this is, of course, the getting into the dire stages here of the regular season coming to a wrap, and So the playoff tickets are available now. So if you want some playoff tickets, all you got to do is go to the HalifaxHurricanes.ca website, and you can find out more about that. And of course, you can also go to TicketAtlantic.com, get your playoff basketball tickets. No doubt that we'll be hosting first round action. The opponent, right now, it's Moncton, but anything can change. This is the NBL.
That's right. Lots of great seats still left for those games too.
Yeah.
And this is there's some really good stadiums that I've been to, or arenas I should say. Halifax has a good one, not traditionally a basketball, you know, it was designed more for hockey, but
yeah,
it's proven to be a pretty good basketball arena. Hosted the CIS for years, and of course the last decade or so of professional basketball. Once you get a lot of fans into it, it's a great arena, a good venue is the word I've been looking for.
Yeah. So you haven't got your playoff tickets, or hey, you can actually come and see regular season action. Next time we're going to be here, and next time we're going to be on air here from the Scotiabank Center, Wednesday night against the Cape Breton Highlanders, 7 o'clock, and we'll have the game here for you on NBL Canada YouTube.
And fans, if you haven't been to a game, if you've only watched, I encourage you to come and take in the atmosphere. It's a great family atmosphere. It's always a lot of fun at the games. Well worth the money, and it's not a lot of money.
So Hurricanes having a little bit of difficulty trying to get like a good, comfortable lead because the River Lions keep fighting back and then get a little bit of a push of their own. It's definitely been a, you know, you'd say a UFC or a boxing fight. You know, like one team punches, the other one counter punches. They're just back and forth here. Chance here to tie in this possession here for the Hurricanes. 64-61 is plays back underway here at the Scotiabank Center.
Yeah, it's been a lot of back and forth basketball. Halifax has had the lead a few times, haven't been able to hold it.
Oh, Cox saw the look, and Watson puts it up and in. A little bit of a finger roll, and a 1-point game now.
Great court awareness by Cox to see Watson underneath there.
Jardine with a bounce pass inside the Hall. White gets over, defense just in the nick of time.
Hall wanted the call, not going to get it.
Quick skills, 3, no. Cox weak side rebound once again with the look that wants it. And Cox does the old Budweiser was up as he makes his way down the court with tongue out and everything. Kind of almost like Marchand did against the Senators there in game 1 in the playoffs. Hall gets away with a push.
You can celebrate.
Amarty for 3. Comes up with nothing.
Corey not able to get a handle of it.
65-61. Watson once again.
He has been the benefactor of some nice passing. Wasn't able to finish that one though.
Hall driving through the trees, unable, and then goes down once again. And he's taking his dear sweet times. Everyone was thinking about it. Oh, and they try to set up Cox. I'm not sure there was a pass or if they were trying to do the alley-oop type thing, but it goes out of bounds. It was, an F on both occasions.
It's a wasted opportunity, to say the least. They had the numbers. They had a couple guys on the ground. Just an errant pass.
Scoop Jardine. 11 points here. Tries to put that one up and can't get it to go. Blake Scales quickly. Bounce pass. Zimmerman fouled.
By the way, it's 65-64, just like that. Halifax back in the lead.
Mike Poole.
Yeah.
Taps in for Halifax with a River Lion foul on number 2, Nick O'Corey. His third. Team foul number 5, Joey Haywood.
Well, as I said, this is what it's going to be. It's going to be a fight back and forth.
Shoots the deuce.
You know, pretty well, who has the rock last may win this one.
Yeah, and I think Halifax has had a little bit more success with these, with the smaller sets when he brings in the 3 guards.
Well,
Mike Poole, a smaller swing.
Well, as Zach and I were talking about there in the halftime, like the 3 big men, Amarty, Kirk Williams Jr., you know, having 3 fouls, that doesn't really, you know, it really hurts in terms of things, and that's why you're seeing Hall with a lot of minutes.
And he's been taking advantage of those minutes, playing some great basketball, has Hall. especially defensively. Looks like the River Lions going to bring in a few more subs here. Shots off.
66-64. Here is O'Corey. 13 points, 5 of 12 from the field.
Good hands from Haywood.
Nice passing here. Hurricanes in with numbers the other way. Poole lays it up and in, and that's a good sign because we said we were struggling from the field. You might as well just go lay it up and, try to, take what the defense gives you there on the turnover.
That's right. It's a good confidence builder when you get those layups, and it was a nice take. 68-64.
Halifax foul.
Cox going to be called for the foul.
His third team foul, number 3. Josiah Moore checks in. Scoop Jardine, shooting 2.
2 free throws coming up here for Scoop Jardine. 1 of 2 so far tonight, make it 2 of 3. At 68-65.
Two of 2.
Yeah, goes 2 of 2, and Murray will come
Tyler
in.
Murray in for Niagara.
The Wagner product.
Sam Muldrow taps in also.
Williams Jr. gonna go sit down. I imagine that's probably gonna try to hopefully get him there for the good stretch here of the fourth quarter. There's 3:20 left of this one in this third quarter, so probably trying to give him a good rest. And
especially to get a bit of foul trouble as well.
oh, wide open was Poole. Back-to-back layups there. Makes it 70-66. O'Corey, Taquan Zimmerman. Couple of 2s against each other. Zimmerman lost the handle.
Great
Poole
LT
right
by
there.
Mike Poole.
Poole's gonna, I thought he was gonna take it, tick-tack, but had to wait a little bit for the toe there for Billy White.
I'm sure they'll take it whenever they get it. Great finish by White. He's really good at those odd angles underneath the basket. Got those long arms, long legs. He's able to put in balls that you shouldn't think should go in.
72-66, 2.5 left. Hull trying to go through, and now he'll shoot some free throws here.
More help D from Mike Poole. He gets a foul, but that's one thing we've talked about Mike as a shooter. But one thing he does, I don't think he gets enough credit for, is the effort he puts forward on defense. And you've seen it here so far. Some great help defense. And he picks up a foul there, but don't get the easy basket.
The winning number of tonight's charity lottery draw
called here by the Niagara River Lions
is 775590. If you're the lucky winner, you have 10 minutes to make your way to the merchandise table on the arena floor to claim your prize.
Scoring here for
That's in 10 minutes, folks. So we have to draw another number. That number again is 775590.
River Lions. And Washington was the top player, 14 points right now for the Hurricanes, and he's in foul trouble too, so it'd be interesting to see. Probably won't see him here for the rest of the third quarter. Corey, once again, he must love playing in here. 13 points, leading the River Lions in point, and in the stats total there for them. But the thing here is points off turnovers. They're having a little difficulty holding onto the ball, the River Lions.
They are.
Yeah. They've had Hurricanes have converted that into like 12 points. So.
Yeah. River Lions with 12 turnovers total. Halifax not a whole lot better. They've got 10, but like you said, Halifax has been able to capitalize off the turnovers, whereas the Niagara River Lions have only been able to put in 7 points.
Well, what I sort of like about this game, with the exception of Clark there for the River Lions and Ochiero there for the Hurricanes, they're the only one not yet to get on the score sheet. Everybody else has. It's been like balanced scoring. They're not just relying on one person, because the thing
right
is,
before the break, that Hurricane foul was on number 10, Mike Poole. His first team foul, number 5.
You have to guard the 3. You have to guard other forward. So it's a.
You got to pick your poison.
Yeah, pretty well. I like the way that both teams have played here this evening here from the Scotiabank Center.
And I dare say if Williams Jr. had not gotten into that foul trouble early, he'd probably have a few more points than he does right now. He is their leading scorer so far this season. But like you said, you didn't have him. They found a way to play good basketball without him. Only down 6 points to the Halifax Hurricanes.
And the thing is that he has, like you made a great point of how quiet he has been. Only 5 points here, 2 of 5, and Hall will now go 3 of 6 as he misses that one. River Lions kind of improving now. They're 13 of 18 from the free throw line. We talked about earlier, they're the worst free throw shooting team in the NBL. Coming into tonight, 68%.
They're doing better than Halifax so far. They're at 76, where Halifax is at 63. So still, the Hurricanes having troubles at the free throw line.
Yeah, the problems they had in Moncton have continued over here. Poole, that's a tough take. There's a fight.
Halifax ball.
And Mike Leslie, I'm not sure if our cameras caught it or not. He was really animated
I don't know if
and
he was
ready to
looking
blow
for an
a
over the back.
gasket or something.
Maybe not happy with the shot selection.
Well, he's probably about as red as some of the people wearing the red golf shirts here in the Scotiabank Center. That's how his face was at that time.
Still the sharpest dressed coach in the league, I'd say. Oh,
Zimmerman not happy. He says, did I really step out of bounds? Jeff stared.
I'm not
Jeff
sure
stared.
he did.
Yes, you did. I fought the law won.
Yeah, as so often happens.
72 to 67. There's Tyler Murray now. Swags it over. Muldrow bounce pass to Hall. He's giving them some solid minutes here. Moore with a nice move into the paint. Trying to dish it over to Hall. Hall with a tough take, and it won't go. And Billy White uses the size advantage to come up with the ball.
Hall did a good job to get that ball up in the first place with all the hands he had and the bodies around him.
And it really wasn't like the cleanest of passes. It was like
No.
almost like right below his hips. And when you're doing like that, there's really not much good that can come out of that. Oh, knocked away by Muldrow as he denies Haywood the floater there. 120 left, 72 to 67.
Nothing you can do about that. It was a great cut by Joey and a great pass. But Muldrow's got those long arms. He just sent it back from where it came from. Again, former SEC Defensive Player of the Year. That's what I said, folks. SEC. That's a pretty good pedigree.
Corner threes that bounced in and then
Josiah
went
Moore
down
for
there
three.
for Josiah Moore. Moore had only averaged about only played 4 minutes there in their game Thursday, but that's a big three. Taking a big three, Taquan Zimmerman. Hot shooting, but you got to get back on D, boy, as Josiah Moore
got
can't
lucky
hit.
there.
He got in behind the D as they were a little bit slow getting back, but unable to get the finish here. 32 seconds left to go. 75 to 70. A fantastic third quarter here for the Halifax Hurricanes.
Halifax dodged a bullet there. Like you said, not getting back on defense. Josiah Moore could have just as easily converted that too.
Shot clock at 2. I'm not sure if Haywood aware of it, but he puts it up. With a
Look at
little
that.
off balance with the shot. And now the final shot here for Niagara River Lions. They have a 2-on-1. Roca, pocket picked. Telling Haywood to put it up as Watson, and he doesn't do it in time. And that's how this third quarter ends.
At the end of 3, the
I gotta
Niagara
say that
River
maybe the
Lions
communication
70
not
for
quite there because
Hurricanes
we could hear it right from our broadcast location that Tyrone Watson was coming in for substitution, was telling Haywood to put it up, but I guess he didn't hear it. So in the meantime, 75 to 70 after 3 quarters of play.
Yeah, great job at Halifax though to come back. They were down, what was it, 7 points, 5 or 7 points, I can't remember, but they were down in this quarter, did a good job, stormed right back, and now they got a 5-point lead, which is what you want. You want that momentum. You want to be going into the final quarter with the lead, something that they haven't had the pleasure of these last few games.
Well, it was the thing is, like Thursday night, they had a very good third quarter, but so did the Moncton Miracles, and that's sort of like turned things around. But Halifax outscored 25, outscored the Lions 25 to 20 there in that third quarter, and they had a strong second quarter. So now this is the time that you have to finish here, and you got to wonder, of course, this being the closing stages, probably going to see Williams Jr. for the Lions, and you're going to see C.J. Washington here for the Hurricanes. And
Yes, you are.
this is
Both players getting a considerable amount of rest today because of their foul trouble.
yeah.
C.J. Washington's been able to take a little bit more advantage of the minutes he has had so far. He's got 14 points and 7 boards, so a solid game from him as he looks to add to that.
Yep. 75-70 as you take a look at some of the dance competitions here at the Scotiabank Center. So if you're sitting back home saying, geez, man, this is lots of fun, I should come out, I said, sure you should.
That's right.
Got a couple more chances still to come. Wednesday night, of course, the Cape Breton Highlanders are provincial rivals who are fighting for that fourth and final playoff spot. 7 o'clock here at the Scotiabank Center. And then we will finish our season up on that Sunday with an afternoon game. So find out more, go to halifaxhurricanes.ca. And of course, if you want to buy some playoff tickets, ticketatlantic.com is also halifaxhurricanes.ca.
I can't confirm it, but I would venture a guess that final Sunday afternoon game, there will be bouncy castles here for the kids.
You really want to go in that bouncy castle?
I
would die to see that.
There's been a couple times they get here early in the game and they got it blown up before the fans get here. I've considered jumping in.
Might be just funny is to get one of the get about a 3 or 4 year old who weighs about 70 pounds, and then have me all of a sudden just up and jump and see if he actually hits the roof.
Rocking him.
Yeah. I'm kidding, folks, of course. Imagine those bouncy castles probably have a weight restriction.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't meet that. Here we are, fourth quarter, silliness aside, Ty Murray. With the pocket
Murray.
there, he lays it up and in, yeah.
Joe Rocca back on it.
Yeah, we'll give him 4.
Playing tough D on Haywood.
There's a couple of Canadian players going back and forth.
That's what you like to see.
Former Raven and former Husky. Poole spinning, shooting, and it gets the roll, and down it goes. 77-75. 40 seconds gone here in the fourth. Tyler Murray guarded there by Cox. Oh, there was a defensive blow down there. Hall was wide open. Hurricanes got there, and then there was contact that Hall wanted. He wanted and one. Well, Ryan Lutz, the back official, said no.
Yeah, Poole, it looked like Poole behind him there got nothing but ball. I could hear it from where I am here, hitting the ball. Hall still able to finish. Testament to the guy's strength, I guess. Great boards.
Cox.
He is doing great on the offensive glass.
And he brings it out. Now let's settle things down here with a new clock. Poole. That actually hits the foot of Hall, so this is going to be reset here. Shot clock will stay 15 seconds. 10:38 left to go in the fourth.
Hall is not happy, yelling at some of his teammates.
Well, I think a lot of it still has to be the carryover there, because to be that wide open, he got the bucket, but
Yeah.
he wanted to get it go to the line.
Wanted the harm.
Yeah, but it's thing is, I couldn't believe how wide open he was, and the
Well, it was definitely defensive breakdown.
oh, man, for sure.
Haywood!
Corner 3, yes!
From
Lions made the mistake of leaving
downtown.
him wide open. He's going to hit that shot more often than not if you don't have a hand in his face.
What? We talked about it earlier about this Scotiabank Center being a little more lively. They got lively at that one as Hall can't get that one to go.
Gets a contact. I think a little bit of a warning for language there from the ref.
Halifax foul on
Yeah, he
Anthony
said, "My
Cox. His fourth team foul, number 1. Carl
Kids
Hall
in
at the
stand
line,
covering their ears.
shooting 2.
Hall tonight here from the line, 4 of 7. River Lions 14 of 19. And that one will sink. It's a 5-point game here. 4 seconds shy of the 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Hall's been doing pretty good tonight here, Matt. 4 of 9 from the field and 12 points. And
Yeah, he's a good
he's
player.
had to pick up, because you pretty well know with Williams Jr. and Marty in foul trouble that they have been.
He comes with a pretty good pedigree. Played his ball at Wichita State. He was the
River Lion foul on
MVC
Joe Rocca.
all-second
His
team
first
when he played.
Team foul.
That
number
says a
1.
bit, right?
Yep.
And he's a big body. He's a strong player.
His third
and he's
team
been doing
foul,
quite well.
number 1.
Yeah, Hall, we talked about 13 points combined. Amarty, who had a double-double, as well as Kirk Williams Jr. 14.
Mike Poole from
There's another three
downtown.
shot there. This time Poole sinks that one.
Real
7-point
nice catch and
lead.
shoot.
3 the key call. Don't often see that these days.
No, you do not.
Kirk Williams Jr.
And,
and Scoop
Kirk
Jardine
Williams Jr., and this
check
is-
in for the River Lions.
Talking to Coach Vassal, I saying about, well, you know, how are you going to manage this game tonight? He said, well, it depends on what the score is going to be to reflect of how things are going. And
Nick
right
O'Corey
now, you know,
taps
he's
in
in
for
foul trouble
Niagara
with Williams
also.
Jr., but right now he'll bring back O'Corey and Williams Jr. here to try to, you know, minimize the damage here.
Definitely. I mean, it's all well and good to try to hold on to those guys to the final minutes, but you don't want to be behind too far those final minutes.
Well, 3 here will make a double-digit lead here for the Hurricanes. Poole, no.
Great
Watson.
rebound by Watson.
New 24. He says, I'm not going to use the full
Watson.
24. I'll just lay it up and in.
Did he ever get up to get that ball?
In the words of Dick Vitale, Matt, what hops, baby, what hops? Jardine coming up to 3 gone. Roca can't hit. And Poole with the board. Strong side rebound as he'll cross the timeline quickly to Watson inside. Here's Poole.
Brings
Gonna
it back out.
Yeah, going to sell things down. Clock now at 10 to shoot. All on the switch in the corner. Haywood now. You see O'Corey governing him. 2 to shoot here. Poole. And that was no good. That was good D there by the River Lions. Never really gave them really much good and clean looks.
No, they didn't. I thought they were going to go with the ISO and Watson underneath, but they didn't go. He kicked it back out to Poole. He had to put up that rushed shot. Good board by Zimmerman. He's going to push it.
Roca having some difficulty here. 1 of 5 here from the field. They get 1 of 6 and 0 for 3 from downtown.
Really picked off that pass.
O'Corey goes up and 1.
Basket counts for
No
Nick
doubt
O'Corey,
about it.
who'll hit the line shooting
Talking
a
with the
single.
points off turnovers,
Halifax
they can add
foul
2
on
there.
Anthony Cox.
Rocca picked off
His
that pass
fifth
to
team
Haywood.
foul, number 2, Richard
They were able to
Amarty,
convert that into at
also
least 2 points.
checks in for Niagara.
Corey here will go to the line. This is his first free throws of the night here, Matt. And for O'Corey, 73.7% from the line. It works out to be 28 of 38. But of course, that's with his tie with the River Lions. So
It's like Ronaldo Dixon going to check into the
Ronaldo
game.
Dixon
Give Anthony
taps
Cox a
in
breather.
for Halifax.
Cox, solid minutes here tonight. You may not look at it like in terms of the stats. He's only 2 points, 1 of 3 from the field, but
He played his game, though.
Oh, exactly.
He played it. He had a couple of great. See, he's got 10 rebounds, and
Yeah.
at least 3 of those were offensive. I haven't seen the stats. When I get the final stats, I'll know it. But he's been great on the glass.
yeah, the Hurricanes, you talk about rebounds, 50. Jardine, alley-oop, and the finish from Marty with
Richard
the two-hander.
It was a beautiful play.
Slam Boski, baby. 85 to 81. To take a look at it here. There's the alley.
And the oop.
You almost think we actually discussed that and choreographed that.
You would think.
Yeah.
Oh, good job by Joey getting his own boards.
7:20 left to go. There's a big possession here.
Another
Kirk Williams
turnover.
Jr. back to Amarty. Jardine saw the open lane, drives but can't finish. Dixon with a big board. Here's a 2-on-2 back the other way. Watson inside. Mason. And there's a ball battle there, and that was going to be coming up the advantage there of the Niagara River Lions. They had 2 players on 1 Hurricane. Outside 3 doesn't go, and a
Good
weak
job
side
by-
rebound.
Good job by Zimmerman to slow this one down, because the last few chums down the court, the Canes have looked to be moving a little bit faster than they can handle, a little bit out of sync. Zimmerman recognized that, grabbed that board, and said, okay, slow it down. Let's get something set.
Hurricanes like to run when they have offense, but they don't like to be really going like back and forth of a team. That's
right.
not really their specialty. Here is O'Corey with 6:25 left to go. Entry pass. Hall backs in on Dixon, and the one-on-one battle
Carl
won there by
Hall.
Hall, and it gives him 16. 5 of 10. And most importantly, it gives them closer because things are starting to look bad. It was a 7-point deficit. Now it's 2, 85 to 83.
Story of the game, back and forth.
Halfway point, Dixon for 3.
Another offensive board.
And Watson.
Tyrone Watson.
Great
They're-
finish.
They're doing fantastic in terms of rebounds.
Sure are.
52 of them.
It's one of the better games I've seen them play on the glass,
Ryan
especially offensively.
Ryan Lutz with the call, and it's going against Dixon.
Hurricane.
Dixon, that's his first personal
Foul
here
on
tonight.
Ronaldo Dixon.
20 offensive rebounds so
first.
far tonight.
Team foul number
That is
3.
an excellent stat. 10 for the Niagara River Lions. That is not a bad stat in itself to have 10 at this point in the game. Offensive rebounds, but to have 20, you got to be happy with that
Well,
as a coach.
they're no slouch in rebounds, too. They got 42. That's like,
That's right.
you know, it's, you know, really the scoreboard pretty well tells you everything about this game. It's been a dandy. It's been back and forth. And you got to wonder here, you know, what's, you know, you being the expert here in terms of basketball, what do you think they have to do, the Halifax side has to do to come away with the W, and then you could follow it up with the River Lions?
At the risk of sounding cliche, I think all Halifax has to do is continue to play their game. These last few sets, like I said, when they seem to be a little bit out of control, they were turning the ball over like crazy, and now you see it's a 4-point game vice a 7 or 8-point game. So if Halifax plays their game where they move the ball around, they slow it down, they get those open shots and good looks underneath and crash the boards, they'll be doing well. On the other hand, I think if the Niagara River Lions keep putting the pressure on Halifax and force them into positions where they don't want to be, making them a little bit uncomfortable, getting those hands in the passing lanes, making them forcing those skip passes, that will bode well for the River Lions.
Well, we're in for a good finish here at the Scotiabank Center on a Saturday night. A good turnout here.
Great turnout.
I mentioned earlier that this is the only sport in town right now in terms of professional. Of course, the QJHL wrapped up here a couple weeks ago, and you know, don't have a team that's in the Maritime Hockey League, no longer here. So I mean, this is it. I mean,
CIS basketball is done.
yeah, exactly. It's you're the lone sport in town, so. Should be in for a good one here, 87 to 83.
Win or lose, the fans have been treated to a really good game of basketball so far.
Yep, 5:47 left to go. Closing time here at the Scotiabank Center. River Lions looking here to make it a 2-point game on this possession, and possibly one if they can shoot the 3. Jardine. We mentioned earlier how hot he likes to play, how good he plays against these Atlantic Division teams, especially the Hurricanes here, averaging about 20 points a game. A little bit cool
Halifax
here tonight,
foul
5
on
of
Flint
13
Scales. His first.
from the field.
Team
13
foul number
points.
4.
Does draw the foul there, non-shooting, so will be inbounded here by the River Lions. 5:38 left. All heads it off there to Jardine. Clock at 10. Sends a bounce pass, no look pass. Mason right there. Oh, makes a nice move there by Williams. But you know, the thing is, with being in foul trouble, he just pretty well had to let him blow by, and that was an easy bucket.
That's right. He couldn't play him too hard. That said, nice footwork with the modified Euro hop there.
And
Hurricane
Mason will
foul
come back
on
and get a
Mason.
foul. Will be his
second. Team foul number 5.
Yeah, not surprised. He's usually good for a couple fouls. Like I said, he plays real physical defense.
Our Vikes may be able to pick up. Don Mills, once again, not too happy with the officials as the outside 3 doesn't go that time.
He never really is.
Coming up to 5 to go here in the fourth quarter. 89 to 83. Dixon will just shoot it up and overhaul.
C.J. Washington.
Washington, pardon me. Couldn't quite see the number, so it's a mistake number 2 there. You're not going to deduct that from my salary tonight, are you?
We won't
Kirk
hold that
Williams
right.
Jr.
91-85. Here is Mason now. Washington comes up and sets the screen. Now he gets the rock here with the clock at 8. Mason step back.
Oh, wow.
Washington, and that was too easy, and 1.
That was a great pass.
Washington.
Great athleticism. I hope we get a chance to look at it, Matt.
River Lion foul on Scoop
See,
Jardine.
If we get to see it
His
delayed.
third
Looked
team
as,
foul number 2.
as if he was going to put up the jumper, threw the defender off and up, and then he saw Washington.
Tyler Murray taps in while Washington tries to make it 3.
He'll go to here to complete the 3-point play. 6 of 11 here. And 1 for 3 from the free throw line here tonight. 16 points, hoping to make it 17 here with this one. And short rimmed on that one, and Amarty will come up with the board. And for Amarty, it'll be his 5th rebound. Oh, what a nice one. Kirk Williams Jr., furious, not happy, and gets teed up. And I think he may get another one. That's could be it for him.
You don't touch the ref. Can't touch the ref, and he's going to be, doesn't even need to be usher. He's going to walk his way out. He knows he's gone.
Technical foul on Kirk Williams Jr.
There it is. That's the get that garbage out of here
Second
moment.
technical foul
just
on
missed
the
it there.
very cleverly mouthed Kirk Williams Jr. He gone.
You hate to see that, no matter who the team is.
Samuel Muldrow.
No need to get in contact with the ref, whether you like the call or not. Just play the game. Now, one thing I don't know, is this a situation where he will be suspended for the next game as well, where he got tossed for this one, or is that just a one-game thing?
Well, it's a matter that they will
Zimmerman
look at
of
it
the
here.
line,
Of course, there's
attempting
also
the
what
second
usually
tee.
happens is there's accumulation of technical fouls. If he gets so it depends on how many that he's had previously. So if he gets right up to like 6, then yes, he'll be missing a game. But
Gotcha.
you know, he just got pretty well 2, just like that.
Gotcha. Okay.
And, Coach Vessel wants to call a timeout, and he'll get it here with 4:03 left to go. 94-85. You know what? Let's talk about that one. Is that you're one of the top players on your team. You're having a frustrating night. You've had some foul difficulties pretty well since the opening first half, but you're not really helping your team now because all of a sudden, we talked earlier about how quiet things were for him because he only had 5 points, 2 of 6 from the field, and now after getting a double-double, and we're talking about 23 points, 19 rebounds, a fantastic game,
Huge game.
and he follows it up here with this one.
Yeah, with the
And now, and the thing is, their season is on the line.
That's
so
right.
you got to kind of really control your emotions. I know it's kind of hard. It's really hard to do when you think that you've had contact, but
You can't let your emotions get the better of you. And like you said, especially when the season's coming down to it, where you're competing, you're fighting to get that playoff spot, to leave your team high and dry. So it's, hate to say it, but it's selfish basketball. Fans dancing here in the stands, as always. Kids loving it.
Yeah,
Good
they have a
family
lot to be
atmosphere.
happy about right now. It was pretty well quiet all throughout the night, Matt, and
They
have
sure do.
just, I guess you could say they've woken up from their slumber. I'm sure they probably have had a lot of chocolate here over the weekend, and a lot of chocolate bunnies, and coming to watch a sport where, has the term bunnies when you get a basket, eh?
It was free cream egg night here tonight as well. So the first 1,000 fans got a free Cadbury cream egg. So no doubt there's some sugar highs happening right now.
Yeah. So I bet the parents are going to have fun trying to get them settled down there for tonight.
I know my own have been to. I've already been to one Easter egg hunt, and you got one tomorrow. My house will be filled with candy.
So when are we coming over?
Standing invite, you know that.
Mason can't get the finish there.
Good job in the paint by Mason.
I'm just kidding. I don't invite myself to people's places.
Niagra foul on Richard Amardi.
It's one of those.
His 4th team foul, number 5.
One of those things that
Mason
it's just
at the line.
holiday where I
shooting
just
2.
want to stay at home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't blame you.
Mason to the line.
It's another thing, being as it is essentially a 4-day weekend. It's nice to see this many fans in the stands. A lot of people go away.
Yeah.
For this extended holiday.
Well, that's it. It's like this is the battle that you have when you have like basketball being played in the spring. Is all of a sudden the weather's a lot nicer. Maybe,
yep.
You know, some of these people want to probably either go golfing or go to the cottage. Some are going to the beach type thing. So to get the attendance here that you had here tonight is just fantastic. So.
That's right. And it was a beautiful, beautiful day today.
Yeah, I think, you know, what we should do is on our last game of the year, we should get a whole whack of headsets there and everybody just go to the beach and we'll just broadcast from there.
Sounds like a
You,
plan
Vince,
to me.
and I. Bring Alan as well along.
Yeah, count me in.
Yeah, just do it from home there, you know, just put your feet up. Do it from the beach. I don't know how much or how well it would go if I was calling the game is, you know.
Might be a little bit of a time delay.
Yeah. Zimmerman, yes.
Take one, Zimmerman.
From downtown.
Well, we talked about how strong they finished that first half. They finished pretty good here. Got about less than 3 to go here in the 4th, and it's their largest lead of the afternoon.
Yeah, they're playing great basketball, keeping the pressure on, and I think
Hall drives his shoulder in, and John Mills standing up, not happy. Thinking there should have been an offensive foul.
not only that, but they give the foul to C.J. Washington. He got creamed under there.
Team foul number 6.
Must not have had his feet set. I don't know if they're going to show the replay of it, but as I was saying before that happened, I think maybe take one. Zimmerman might have heard me say they don't have that deadly three-point shooter before the game, because he has been lights out here so far.
Yeah, he has
4 of 8. Don Mills and the ref having a few words.
Matt Boyle must feel like he's in a pool full of sharks and alligators right now. On one side, he's got Don Mills barking at him. He's got Dick and Corey barking on the other side. It's like, can't I just get this 2.5 left to go?
That's what he wants.
Zimmerman.
Up fake.
Well, he wanted to do that catch and shoot that you talked about there, and he made a great point on that. Murray. Here's Amardi. He had an open look and can't finish. Kind of an interesting decision there by Amardi. He had an open lane. He could have drove it for the easy 2 instead of trying to put the jump shot off, and he wasn't even within the 3-point area.
And he's got the length to finish that play underneath.
98-87, 2 to go.
Good hands
Hall
by
with the pickpocket, but he'll tip it out of bounds. It'll stay with the Hurricanes, but they have 7 to shoot here. 2:03 left, as you see. And there's Matt Boyle, the crew chief here tonight. One of the top officials here in Atlantic Canada for sure. And it's not an easy league to ref in for sure.
No, it's not.
Clock at 3. Mason can't hit. Less than 2 to go.
Ooh.
Loose ball. And Zimmerman comes
Great
up with it at a new 24. And you know they're going to hold on to this as long as they can.
Fans giving a round of applause for that hustle play.
Yeah, Mike Leslie telling him to clear out of there. And they are. And now he's shouting instructions. Murray and Clinkscale. It's on the switch. Washington, no. Didn't get the
couldn't get the finish.
No, it wasn't really that close. He didn't even get it above the rim.
Nice take by Nick O'Corey.
Nick O'Corey.
Nick O'Corey gives it 13. 1:24 left to go. But now the Hurricanes, they've got a 2-for-1 here. It's on the go. They take take up a lot of time here. It would definitely benefit them. Zimmerman, Mike Scales, 3 over Murray. Nope, that's short. Muldrow comes up with the board. 62 seconds left. And what a time to take a walk. In the meantime, Nick Okori trying to get some feeling into his knee there. He's got both hands there. And the travel called, and not a great time to have it.
No, it's not.
62 seconds left to go, and a new 24, so the 2 for 1 is now pretty well to a 1 for 1 now. Zimmerman, nope. Oh, yes, it does. Boy, I better not. Yeah, I know. I better not say, you know. Don't be so quick to say things. I know.
You got that friendly bounce. It should be 5 and 9 for him now. He's having a great game from beyond.
Well, they break the 100-point barrier here. 101 to 89.
55 seconds left to go.
Jardine's going to have to put that 3 ball up, and boy, oh boy, that was pretty easy.
Scoop Jardine, he can shoot that 3. It's not a guy you want to leave wide open.
Yeah, he's now 1 of 2. They didn't really get him the ball on to shoot that.
No, they did not. Clinkscales was looking for the foul, and he got it.
Niagara foul on Jardine.
Jardine in his ear a little bit.
His 4th.
Take the inbounds here.
Team foul number 6.
2.5 seconds left to go as we take a look at Clinkscales to inbound. And Mason Clinkscales doubled. Was a brief double team, but broke it up there, and they'll get it over the timeline. Clinkscales and Okori having a little bit of takeaway here. Taking as much time off this 24.
Okori looking for the foul.
Finally, it's like
Niagara foul on Nick Okori.
Asked for it.
Bonus in effect.
Said you got to actually foul him. No gimmies.
Yeah.
That's 4 personals
7
on
to shoot now,
Okori.
24.5 ticks left.
This one is pretty much in the bank for the Canes. Good to see them getting back into the W column.
Well, this was important because the thing is that this was going to be their, if they lost this one, it would have been their longest losing streak of the season. And
big time.
Really not the time to be having it. But you know, the coaching staff said before the game, you know, Chris Padgentine said, we're not too concerned. Every team goes through adversity. Every team goes through this stretch. We're going to be okay.
Yep, and that's the attitude you need, especially from your coaching staff. You don't want guys hitting the panic button too quick.
101 to 92. Marty had to do a little nice bit of footwork there because he looked like he was going to be in for a lane violation. So he gets the ball here, shoots the 3, and that doesn't go. Tapped out. Washington has it. And now it's a little game of keep away here. Here's Mason now, and
good sportsmanship. He'll hold it underneath.
Yeah. He just decides not to, and we'll send it back out. So this will how it ends. 102 to 92.
That's the final, Halifax.
A big blow here for the Niagara River Lions.
The Niagara River Lions, 92.
Here at the Scotiabank
Halifax
Center.
Hurricanes.
And for the Halifax Hurricanes,
102.
getting a little bit closer to securing that first place in the Atlantic Division.
Great game today by the Canes. A good game, a huge game from Taekwon Zimmerman. Big game from C.J. Washington. And, of course, good minutes off the bench from Joey Haywood. Really contributed to that. And, of course, great to have Anthony Cox back on the floor doing what he does best.
C.J. Washington, the only player with a double-double, 18 points and 10 rebounds here this afternoon. So definitely probably put him up there for one of the players of the game there for the Halifax Hurricanes. And, well, it's a draw in between Carl Hall. I kind of liked him because he gave him solid minutes because once the bigs got trouble, he had to step up.
Joining us at the mic tonight,
at 7 rebounds. So he did a fantastic job coming off there and giving them some minutes off the bench.
And played some great defense as well. Good rim protection from him all game.
So let's get some final thoughts here on this one before we wrap things up here, Matt.
Well, like I said,
As Zimmerman just said, the Hurricanes, thank you for joining us tonight and hope to see you again on Wednesday, April the 19th, as your Hurricanes host our provincial rivals, the Cape Breton Highlanders. Game time is 7 p.m. Tickets are on sale now
Okay,
at
final score,
ticketatlantic.com.
Halifax Hurricanes.
Folks, have a safe drive home and good
Niagara
evening
River Lions
from the
92. The
Scotiabank
Halifax
Centre.
Hurricanes now with the win will improve their record to 25-10, and for the Niagara River Lions, they will fall to 11-24, and now they'll have to head onto the bus and make the 5 to 5.5 hour trip to Cape Breton to take on the Cape Breton Highlanders. So we want to thank Matt Elliott. It's been a pleasure working with you, man. Hopefully we'll do this again sometime.
Definitely.
For Matt Elliott and our entire Silver Vision crew here at the Scotiabank Centre, my name is Dan Hobson. Thank you for watching here on NBL Canada YouTube. So long from the Scotiabank Centre. Hurricanes once again with a win, 102-92. Good night, folks.